This is the Say It Can't Gamer, and you are live with the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
Boom, 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 boom.
No way.
Oh!
From the Queen Studios of New York, number 8 ranked UFC bantamweight fighter, Aljamain Sterling's here live with the MMA-Holes. Yes, what's up, MMA-Holes? I hope everyone's good tonight. It is Wednesday night, TGIW, and man, I am excited. I hope you guys are excited right now. We have a chat room full of misfits over here. We have Long Island's own Aljamain Sterling live with the MMA-Holes eating ice cream. Oh my God. Holy smokes. Look at this. He's eating the ice cream. It is wonderful, wonderful. Aljamain, welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, it's a pleasure to have you on. Now, you have a big fight coming up, UFC AC, New Jersey. I mean, on the East Coast, representing right now, and you're eating this ice cream. This must be a very intense training camp that you're in.
Very intense. You know, I take my calories very serious. I got to make sure I'm carb loading and making sure I'm ready to go. Keep the cardio tank on full.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus. I mean, I've never seen this before. Everyone's eating this grilled chicken and vegetables and all this stuff, and you got what flavor ice cream is that?
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough. Well, is it organic cookie dough? How's this work?
I don't think it's organic. But,
No.
I don't think it costs. I don't think it made it on the list.
Now, is this a Matt Serra thing? Is this a Matt Serra training routine over here that you got going on? Where'd you learn this from?
It's kind of my own thing. I eat a lot of sweets, man. When I start cutting down and my weight starts to get lower, I get like these weird cravings. And you gotta feed it, man. You gotta feed the machine. That's what I always say. Feed the machine and keep the machine happy.
Now, this is your first time on the MMA-Holes. This is a flying circus of misfits. I got a bunch of lunatics in this chat room over here, and I see that you have a YouTube channel as well. And what I'm going to do is this. I have on screen right now your YouTube channel, and you have 1,048 subscribers. Look at this. You already have 1,048 subscribers over here, and my plan for today's show is to pump up them subscribers, throw some more subscribers your way, and get you going with this YouTube channel. Oh, hey, who we got over here? Oh, photobombing over here. What's going on?
She's hiding.
Now, is this the missus, girlfriend, wife? Who we got over here?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, okay.
She's real shy.
Jesus Christ, this is unbelievable. I mean, I can't believe it. This is her big moment. I mean, you would think that she would like, being on camera and everything like that. This is no.
No, she doesn't really like that stuff.
Oh well. Well, what are you gonna do? I mean, so I guess you're the celebrity of the household right now, huh?
For now.
For now.
We're working on her right now. Getting there.
There we go. So Long Island, New York. I am an East Coast guy. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows from my accent and stuff like that. But everyone tells me that I always favor the East Coast guys. They don't favor the West Coast guys over here. And I'm starting to believe that this is the case right now. So I'm going to say negative things so people don't think that I just favor East Coast fighters. Strong Island. Represent. I mean, represent over here. Now, okay. You have Matt Serra's gym, right? Was it Longo, Weidman, Serra? They're all at this gym that you train at?
They're two different locations, but we cross-train a lot.
Oh, okay. Now, how is it with these guys, these crazy guys? I mean, Ali Quinta, I'm not sure if he's at your gym as well, or, I mean, all these crazy characters that you get to train with. How do you get anything accomplished?
I don't know if you saw my post today on Instagram. That was from this morning, our weightlift circuit with Tony Ricci, Chris Weidman, and I. And he's over here dancing behind me while I'm trying to work on my core workout and all these things, So then we end up having a full-on dance battle. I think Chris was more so doing the Irish river dancing thing.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called, but the little hopping thing. I don't know, but it wasn't pretty for him. It wasn't pretty for him. But we have a good chemistry, man. I love these guys. We always manage to make practice and training a lot more fun and tolerable. You know, you start beating your body up and you're sore and you're waking up and you don't really feel motivated to get to the gym. But you know, these guys are going to be there. You know, it's going to always be a great time. And you guys are going to get through it together. And it just makes training camp a lot more fun.
Sure, I bet. Now, I got the video on the screen. I'm going to show the
Oh.
All right, here he is. Here's Aljamain. He's flexing, and there's some man creeping up behind you over here. I don't know.
All right, I'm going to your story this.
It's very romantic. I mean, it's... Oh, my goodness. He's really getting down. There's some dancing. Jesus Christ.
Wait for the battle rap.
All right, let me keep it going here. Check this out, guys. Oh, here we go.
Yo, stop failing drug tests. Stop failing drug tests. Not cool. You gotta know what you put in your body.
Because they saw and be a monster.
Oh, that is great. That is absolutely great. That's priceless over there. That happened today?
That happened this morning. I don't know how we were supposed to get through the workouts doing that, but we got through it.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! What a character! What a bunch of characters you got going on over there. I had the pleasure to work with Chris at his Gotham magazine shoot, and goddamn, he's a funny dude. He is really a funny guy. He always has the right thing to say at the right time. I mean, what a funny dude over there. What's it like training with Chris? I mean, an accomplished wrestler. A gigantic animal, like he's tremendous. What is it like training with Chris Weidman?
It's fun, you know. It's very competitive. We both are very similar in our styles in terms of grappling and top heavy wrestling. So you know, anytime he's trying to do something, I'm trying to do it just as well. I'm learning a lot from him showing me stuff, and obviously he's a lot bigger than me, but we get to roll with each other. We don't spar with each other, way too big for me. Yeah. But we'll play spar on the mat, and he'll, you know, kind of show me some things that he likes to do and he likes to try. And it's fun, you know. It's a very family-oriented feel for our training camp. I truly do believe that. The majority of us, I will say probably all of us, we just want to see each other win and succeed. And I think that's what it's all about when you got guys that are really 100% behind you, and not like the video, but 100% behind you and supporting you.
Well, I noticed even when you guys went to the UFC facility, I noticed you New York represented. You guys seem to be the loudest group out of the whole house over there. I mean, what was that like? Were people like, "Oh, get these guys out of here"? I mean, you guys seem like the loudest people over there.
They probably thought we were a little crazy, and they're probably not too far off from that. I think we're all a little wacky in our own little way. Yeah. You get all of us together in a room, and I think it's just nothing but a good recipe for good content and good TV.
Yeah, we're live with Aljamain Sterling, UFC 8th ranked bantamweight fighter over here. And you mentioned wrestling. Okay, I'm looking at your background over here, and it says you're a pro since 2011, Cage Fury champion. Let's see, two-time NCAA Division III All-American. Geez, you have some resume over here. And what stands out the most is this when you went to college with John Jones. What is this about?
Yeah, and I don't know if they have the Ring of Combat champion, but we can't make that slide. You know,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I did go to college for a year with John Jones. Actually a semester, because he didn't come back the second semester. But we stayed in touch on MySpace, that kind of thing. He was actually training at the gym right down the road from where I went to college. When I transferred college from Mooresville to SUNY Cortland, and he was training down the road, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, bro, I want to come down, check it out. I think I could be good at this stuff." That was like my exact words, like, "I think I could be good at this stuff." Mm-hmm. And he didn't think I was gonna come down. I came down, and I never looked back since. You know, I was training up there, and as soon as I was done with college, I moved back home to Long Island, Strong Island, and we've been just improving and moving on ever since.
Now, everyone in the chat, they keep on bringing this up. They're like, when are they going to run back this fight over here with Brian Caraway? This fight over here. I mean, I thought you got robbed in this fight, and a lot of people in the chat room are talking about it. What are your thoughts on this fight over here? This is a big fight in your career, and it kind of went the wrong way. You started off super strong in that fight, and then somehow Brian Caraway got the decision. What are your thoughts, in hindsight, looking back at this fight?
You know, I think experience won him that fight. Even though I do think if they judged it the right way, it should have been a draw, 28-28. I think
Mhm.
that first round was more than definitely a 10-8 round. But I don't make the rules, and I don't know what the judges are looking at. But even John McCarthy came after the fight and said the same thing. He was like, that fight should have been a draw, 10 first round, 10-8. He probably got the second and third round, but I think that's the one thing I learned from that experience. I had a great training camp. I was in great shape. The day of the fight, I did 3 workouts. Woke up because we were like one of the first fights because it was the Fight Pass exclusive Fight Pass prelims, feature fight, whatever that means. So we're fighting for the king of Fight Pass to be the king of Fight Pass.
Well, I mean,
So, I wake up super early. I woke up probably like 5:30 in the morning. Woke up and did my sprints, open up the lungs, which I always do one workout the day of the fight, and then I just do my warm up in the back, which is not very long, and then I get ready for the fight. So I did that, and then I did like another hour and a half, probably. That really killed me. I think after the first round, I started off super strong, and then after that, I just could not keep up that pace that I did in the first round, and yeah, I think that's what that was. It's experience, and I wanted to win so bad that I was willing to push myself even more to get that win, and it killed me. And that's one of the things. When the work is done, the work is done. You just gotta trust and believe in that.
Yeah. We're live with Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master. Where did you get this nickname, the Funk Master? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have asked you this, but I want to know the answer here.
You know what, man? I got this from kind of like a tribute to my wrestling style. It's also a tribute to Ben Askren. I mimic a lot of my wrestling style off of that guy in college. Everything he did from the NCAAs, to doing matches. I went back.
Oh, we got a coffee tip dance. Hold on one second. Donation coming in. Interrupting the show.
Sounds like a dubstep.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Marky Wahoo has a question.
I like this dude. I'm a fan. Dude keeps it real.
There you go. He just says that he likes this dude. He's a fan, and you keep it real. There you go. No question over there. He's a fan. Marky Wahoo. How about that?
Was that a guy?
That was a guy. Well, we have a woman say everything, so they type it in, and a woman says it. So they say horrible things. And...
For a second, I was like, right.
Yeah, it's a transgender. What are you gonna do? We have weird viewers over here.
Well, thank you anyway. Thank you. I appreciate that.
There you go. How about that? Starting off the show with a nice comment. That's a first over here on the MMA-Holes. Keep up the nice comments over there. Now
I got thick skin. Good thing I got thick skin.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, this is interesting, right? I'm looking at you into the UFC. You come into the UFC in 2014, and then you go on a 4-fight win streak. So, first of all, I want to know, when you got the call to come to the UFC, on a level of 1 to 10, I mean, how excited were you to get that call?
I was on a level of 1 to 10. I was definitely a 10. The only problem that I was having was I was in the middle of drinking a beer. So, as soon as I got the call and I heard, I was like, I took the beer and I passed it to my friend. And I said, I'm not gonna need this anymore. I got 4 weeks to put in some real hard work and get ready for this fight, short notice fight. And I was originally supposed to fight Lucas Martins, and then he got hurt and I ended up fighting Cody Gibson. But I was pumped, man. There was nothing that was gonna stop me from getting my hand raised on that night. So I made sure I stopped drinking, went cold turkey, and put myself in the best position to win as best as I could.
How is it to change your lifestyle like that? I mean, you're young, you're at the top of your game right now. You know, you're partying, having a good time, and now you get the call from the UFC. How tough is it to make that life change?
It's pretty tough, man. I was coming off a win. First round finish about 1minute and 30 seconds in the first round. In November, I think November 2nd, I was just coming back from surgery, and I was supposed to have one more fight with Cage Fury before I got signed because the UFC said I wasn't ready. Brian Caraway actually got hurt, and that was the reason why I actually got into the UFC, because he pulled out of a fight, and it was just so funny how everything came full circle, and then we ended up fighting. Yeah, so I wasn't supposed to fight again until like April. So to take that fight in February, knowing that I was just hanging out, partying, and I was going nuts. I knew, I was like, dude, I gotta really make up for a lot of lost time to be anywhere near in shape to go 15 minutes.
Now we're live with Aljamain Sterling on the MMA-Holes. This is exciting stuff. Strong Island representing. Now, next to you, you said, was your girlfriend or your wife? I don't know if we got
My
that.
girlfriend.
Your girlfriend. Okay. Now, how long have you guys been dating for over here?
Soon to be wife.
Soon to be wife.
7 years.
Oh, 7 years.
She's actually saying hello now. Say hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hello.
Okay, so 7 years. So she was with you through everything now. She's with you as you made your rise into the UFC. How tough is it for her to watch you get into that cage and compete?
I don't know. I feel like she's kind of like, go in there and kick his ass. I think that she's kind of like that now at this point. But I know in the beginning it was very nerve-wracking for sure. Even for myself, we were actually talking about this today. This morning we were working out when Chris and I were finishing our workout. My brother, he's actually fighting this Saturday for Cage Fury, his second pro fight. And we were just talking about just the history of why we fight and everything. And I remember one fight, I think it was my first title defense against Hideko Honorio. I'm in the back room, I'm warming up, I felt confident, and then there was just like a lull in just a big void. And we were sitting down, and I'm on the floor. I normally sit on the floor. I've done that in the UFC as well. I just sit on the floor. I don't use a stool, and I'm stretching, and there's just a pin drop silence, and out of nowhere I just go, man, why do we do this crazy sport? I don't know why I do this. This is crazy. Why am I about to go into the cage and go fight some random guy?
Yeah.
And then I go out there and submit the guy in the second round of black belt. And it's just crazy, man. It's you never know how much a sport like this can change you mentally. Like to get up there with no issues with somebody whatsoever, and someone locks the cage behind you and just say, bro, you got to fight, and you just got to go. It's been a crazy ride to go from that to where I'm at now, where I can actually relax and be calm about it. And I think she's kind of had the same little bit of a development in her persona and attitude towards the whole thing.
How do you keep your composure in there? I mean, you're a veteran now, so you've been in that cage a million times. But I mean, how do you keep the butterflies out? I noticed, like Cowboy Cerrone says, that he still gets those crazy jitters when he walks to that cage. Do you still have the same jitters, or do you have a routine that you go through that you can shake that?
I 100% do. I think the only fight that I happen to not have the least nervous I've ever been for a fight was the Marlon Moraes fight.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not. And I think I probably went out there a little too relaxed in terms of normally I feel like when you're nervous, like you're super nervous, that your nerves.
Oh, super chat.
Oh, hold on a second.
Is your girl black or Mexican or a mix of the two?
Okay, so Vaca in the chat wants to know if your girl is black or Mexican or a mix of the two. I don't know what kind of question. All right, Salvadorian. There you go. Thank you, Vaca, for the donation. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything. Anyway, go back. So you're saying, we'll just back up for a second. You're saying the Marlon Moraes fight, you were the calmest you've ever been walking into the cage.
Yeah, I think when you have those nerves and you're a little bit more on edge, you just react a little bit better. Your reaction time is a lot sharper. Everything like your self-defense and survival mode, just instincts just go to a brand new height. It's like it's similar to training, but not the same. You almost feel like your back's really against the wall and it's you or him. And the one time I didn't really feel that energy and didn't feel completely like that on edge was the Marlon Moraes fight. I don't think that had anything to do with anything at all, to be honest. I think once he hit me, I kind of realized it was time to fight. But obviously we saw the results of that, but I just got so anxious from almost getting that triangle to the arm bar that as soon as I got up, I just wanted to get that fight back to the ground. Cause I'm like, I'm going to submit this guy in the first round. And he's scared of the ground game. And that was all those thoughts just going through my mind. I ran in, just shot in with no setup, and it completely just killed me. I think that's probably the lack of not having those nerves. Cause if I was a little bit more nervous, I think I would have been a little bit more cautious and taking my time and just been a little bit more patient, which helped get me to where I am today. A lot of people used to complain about my fights, saying, "Oh, they're boring. He just takes guys down. He doesn't throw any punches." I'm like, well, if I'm not throwing any punches and I'm only throwing kicks, and the guy can't beat me, and I'm limiting my attack, then how much must the other guy really suck? Because if I'm not doing crap and I'm winning and finishing people, then these guys just must be really bad in a fist fight. So I don't know, whatever.
It's got to be incredibly frustrating. Like, you know, I have this argument a lot with viewers, and we talk about, say, for instance, Kamaru Usman, right? We bring him up, and people are like, he's boring, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
well, what do people want to watch? Like, then go watch boxing or something. I don't know this is mixed martial arts, right? What do you have to say to these people that keep on saying stupid shit like this?
It's really just don't watch. If it's that boring, really don't watch. Like, what else do you want to? I don't get what you come here to watch. You this is not a rock'em sock'em robot old age UFC anymore. It's, you know, actual guys that know what they're doing and they're actually skilled. And because guys are actually blocking with their arms and, you know, moving out of the way from attacks, it's considered boring. They like the guys who sit there and block punches with their face. I like my nose where it is. I rather not have my nose plastered on the other side of my face. So if you're not willing to go out there and do that for a couple of thousands of dollars, which is like, you know, they're probably making the same amount of pay as some of us. I think it's cool to have my face and my nose and my facial structure intact. So I don't know, man. Carl Usman knocked somebody out. He knocked out that guy Sergio Moraes, and people are still complaining about him. I don't know what else you got to do. If the guy is laying on somebody, he's doing absolutely nothing. I could be like, okay, this particular fight is boring.
Mm-hmm.
But if the guy on bottom is not doing anything to get up, he's not throwing elbows from his back, he's not trying to get to the cage or give up his back to give up position to change the outcome of the fight, then you can't really blame the guy who's getting his hand raised. It's like what people used to say about GSP. GSP was just so good that, I don't know, people still loved him. They still watched him, even though he did the same exact thing. Do a jab, power double, take you down, and laid in your guard, and probably threw 5 to 10 punches for the rest of the round. So, and he's still considered one of the greatest of all time.
Sure. We're live with Aljamain Sterling on the MMA-Holes, and he has a YouTube channel. Make sure you go subscribe. It's Funkmaster MMA. Jessie, our moderator, if you can grab his channel, spam the shit out of it, and let's get him at least to 1,100 subscribers, for God's sakes. What are you guys waiting for over here? You have a big fight coming up, UFC AC. It's against Brett Johns. And, okay, they're throwing you another badass. It's crazy. Now, before we get to that fight, I do want to talk about this Moraes thing. That I want to touch base on this because you were on a 2-fight win streak. Okay. You must have been super confident, especially going against Renan Barão. And not only did you beat him convincingly that fight, which some people were shocked. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that was a huge win for you. Coming off of that, I could understand how you could have the confidence coming into the Moraes fight. And now you see this guy Moraes, and this guy seems to be the real deal, apparently. Explain this. Yeah. Walk me through this fight here. I mean, it was, I don't know how to say it, but it was fucking vicious. It was absolutely vicious. To experience like
it looked like I died in there. It did look like I died. I probably watched that replay probably 200 times. But
so how do you,
it wasn't good.
How do you come back from something like that? I mean, now, it did. I mean, it must have been painless, right? It must have been instant, boom, you're out. Like, I mean, that was so fast. How does this happen? You think everything's going fine, and yeah, I mean, your girlfriend's next to you. I mean, let's hear her side of the story on this. Her being in the, were you in the crowd for this?
No, she didn't come out. She wasn't able to get off for work for that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a busy time for December. She's a makeup artist.
Oh, okay. Was she planning your funeral or something like that? How did this work? What was she? What was she doing?
Pretty much, she gave me the breakdown of how, like, she watched it at her brother's house over in Queens, and they had like a whole big crowd, and they said everyone's like pumped up watching the fight, and then that happened, and everyone just went, the room just went silent, and then they all just kind of turned and just looked at her.
Oh my God!
It was just kind of like just all eyes on her at that moment, kind of thing. But
it must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was painless.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Now you wake up from this, right? And what is the first thing that goes through your mind? I mean, you realize what happened. What is going through your mind here? How the fuck did I get caught? I want to see what happened. Like, what's the first thing that jumped into your head after this happened?
The first thing, I actually came to where I wasn't like delirious, asking the same questions over and over in the hospital. And then my brother was asking me questions, and then he was like, I started getting mad. And then he realized I was back. He's like, all right, he's getting mad. So it must be, this is the real him. He's being serious all over again. Because usually I'm like pretty serious when it comes to him and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, dude, I remember everything that happened. I just made one mistake, and I told him everything that I walked through the entire fight. He was like, bro, I don't know how you remember all that some of that I even forgot. I was like, yeah, I remember every single thing, every decision I made. I felt like I was so in the moment that I was not in the moment. And it might be a hard thing to explain, but it goes back to what I was saying about the nerves and everything. I was just super calm, where I was like, I was living in the moment, but I wasn't in that moment where for what it was, which is an actual fight. I wasn't in the moment I wasn't in fight mode. Like, I wasn't programmed. My kill instinct and survival instincts weren't turned on yet. But yeah, I remember everything when I woke up, and I told him I saw the knee, and I realized at that moment I effed up big time.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that was that was it.
so I'm assuming there was no after party after that. There was, it was just, let's go to the doctor and get the hell out of here.
No, everything closed early over there anyway, and I wasn't gonna go drinking anyway because I wanted to make sure I didn't have any headaches, which was weird. I didn't have any headaches like that night. The very next day, no like vertigo or nothing. It was the strangest things. I was like, maybe it's just one of those things you turn around in the street and somebody runs up behind you and just clocks you in the chin, and then you just wake up, it just catches you off guard. But it's just one of those kind of things. My jaw wasn't broken, nothing, thank God, and that was pretty much it with that.
We're live with Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master on the MMA-Holes. Now it's time for the comeback. I mean, now you seem like you have this new energy. Every time I watch clips of you online or whatever, it seems like you have these high spirits. You look better than ever. You look like you're in fantastic shape. And now they throw this guy, Brett Johns, at you in Atlantic City. This is a big card if you really think about it. I mean, I don't know when the last time the UFC was in Atlantic City, but this is a big deal. And you're on the East Coast. I'm sure you're going to have some family over there. Everyone begging you for tickets for this fight?
Yeah, but I have to keep reminding people that I don't sell tickets. I get they give me like a voucher for like family and friends, and if they apply early, they can get like seats like together kind of thing for the Serra Longo fight supporters, that kind of thing. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this. I got two names, Cody Stamann and Brett Johns. I said, you know what, I want to fight the guy who's ranked. I want to fight the guy who's supposed to be the next big thing. I said I want the tougher fight. And I figured Cody Stamann kind of just throws off one-off punches and backs up, and Brett Johns kind of very simple with his striking and shoots a lot. He shoots a lot to the same side, and I was like, if this looks like the tougher fight, he's going to be looking to try to drag this fight to the ground the entire time. And I think there's a couple of ways his mindset could probably be like, he's probably thinking either I want to test his chin, because obviously the result of my last fight, that could be one way he wants to play, or he's going to be looking to want to just take this fight down to the ground as much as possible, because I think I'm the longer rangier fighter. I think I fight longer than him. I think it's going to frustrate him, cause a lot of problems. And once I find my openings to start tattooing him on the feet, I think he's going to get a little bit more desperate for those takedown attempts, and I think it's going to present itself an opportunity for me to snatch up his neck and secure the finish.
That's interesting. So they proposed Cody Stamann first, who is another interesting fighter that's coming up right now, young guy, and you chose Brett Johns. That's interesting. So are you doing this for yourself as a challenge for yourself, or you just rather prefer to fight a ranked guy? Brett Johns coming off, he got 3 wins in a row over here, 2 unanimous decisions. And he has
the calf slice.
Yeah, and he does have that finish, that submission in the first round over here. So yeah, he's a serious threat over here. Now, okay, fighting a guy that's under you right now, does this add more fire to your camp right now? Are you like more pumped up, ready to go with this guy because he is a lower ranked guy? You have something to prove now, especially after a finish like the last fight. Like, how do you go into a training camp like this?
I think go about it pretty much the same way. I keep everything in perspective. That last fight was not what Marlon did, is more so what I did wrong on a technical standpoint. And I paid the ultimate price in this sport, which is being separated from your consciousness. That's pretty much what it is. And you got to just keep those things in perspective. Otherwise, it'll just keep eating at you, and you'll keep thinking, oh, this was wrong. Oh, that was wrong. I'm like, there's nothing my coach did, from holding pads to running the workouts, the puke drill, and all kinds of things, and running us through sprints and the treadmill sprints and things like that made me make that decision on that night. It had nothing to do with that, and it had everything to do with me. And that's what it comes down to. When you start taking responsibility for your own actions and things that you can control, good things start to happen. And that's what I realized in college wrestling. That's what I realized in the beginning of my MMA career. That's what I realized when I got to the UFC. And the same thing with the Caraway and the Sunsound fight. You know, I could keep blaming other people and the judges for this and that. But with each loss, I learned something new about myself, about the sport, and how to tweak certain things in my game so that I can be more at an advantage in the future fights. I think this is going to come down to the same thing. You know, I think my Barral fight, my Augusto Mendes fight showed the skill set that I really do have on the ground. I can scramble with anybody. I can grapple with the best guys in the world, which I do on a daily basis over at Renzo Gracie's and Serra BJJ. These guys are competing with the guys in the Def Squad, and I'm training with these guys. So I can't really see. I'm not saying I'm just training with these guys. I'm competing with these guys. I think that's the big difference. Yeah, you can train with them, but are you competing with them? And I think that's the big difference. My wrestling pedigree, I think that speaks for itself. I think people started to see more of my stand-up capabilities whenever I'm willing to engage. And the Augusto fight, the Barral fight. Barral fought his last fight. He just lost, and people were saying, "Oh, it's post USADA. USADA got to him." I'm like, if you look at the techniques Barral has thrown in his last two fights with myself and with Brian Kelleher and with TJ Dillashaw, it's all been the same stuff. It's just the game has caught up with him. And I even said it back then. I was like, I think I have the perfect style to beat him. Footwork, movement, lateral movement, don't stand in front of him, use a lot of feints. And that's what I did. And I think if anybody fought him the cleanest was probably me. I think I took the least amount of damage from Barral out of all the guys he fought in his past 6 fights. And I think that says something. That says a lot. And that's it, man. That's all you can do. Keep everything in perspective and just keep building with every single fight. It's like anything in life. If you let one little thing weigh you down and you start pointing the finger at all these other people instead of looking at the ultimate person who makes those decisions, it's you. So you gotta be real with yourself if you want real results. And April 21st, I think if people have been following my training series, UFC Road to Redemption, people are going to see the same Aljamain's still hungry, still a contender. And I'm going to prove that Brett Johnson is still a serious threat to the division. But at this point in time, I think it's too much too soon. I think the Soto he fought is not the Soto of 2 years ago. And I'm gonna have to go out there and prove that.
That's right. We're live with Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master. Funk Master.
You're gonna wrap one on one shoulder. I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder. And you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I hate to interrupt. I just wanted to say love you guys, and Sterling looks and sounds like.
All right, so here we go.
beast.
T-Man. T-Man says, love you guys, and Sterling looks and sounds like a beast. So there you go. Now, T-Man is a friend of the show. He's a DJ, and he's not familiar with MMA, but we're trying to drag him into this world of mixed martial arts. What would you say to someone that doesn't know much about the sport? Why should they watch the UFC?
Why should you watch the UFC? I'm going to say if you want to see the true form of competition, and you want to see what someone's really made of, this is a sport to watch. You go watch basketball, you can watch soccer and football, and when you can see these guys flopping all over the place just to get a foul. There are no fouls in this sport. You're going out there mano a mano, and you're just going to see who the better man or woman is that night, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. I think some of the UFC fighters are some of the top athletes in the world in terms of they can cross over to other sports and have not the same amount of success as those pro-level athletes, but can compete in those sports in terms of their athletic abilities. To be able to do the things that a lot of these guys in the sport of MMA just do in general, I think is extremely hard, extremely difficult, and is a testament to just the type of person that they are in terms of dedication to the craft and just wanting to become better overall.
So, Aljamain, I have to know about this. Now, you were speaking about Barral before, and that was probably, to me, one of your most impressive fights over there. Barral at one point was unbeatable. Like, people thought that this guy was not going to lose, right? TJ came and did his thing, but yeah, you were super impressive against Barral. And the cloud, the big dark cloud that hangs over the UFC is steroids, right? I've noticed that you have been very vocal. I've noticed Weidman, Iaquinta, everyone's been vocal about this, and rightfully so. I mean, people are using these steroids and stuff like that, getting popped, this and that. And some people on top of the food chain, like John Jones, for instance, keeps on getting in trouble with this. What are your thoughts on steroids in mixed martial arts, and how can they clean this up?
I have one I have one thought process on that. If you're using steroids, you're just mentally weak. And if you feel like you need to revert to that in order to win, like if you feel you truly need that to win, you already lost the fight. So once you get caught and you can't fight, you can't make money. They say cheaters. If you're not cheating, you're not trying, I guess. But you know what, you're gonna pay for it at some point, and it's gonna catch up to you. Whether if it's not in the sport now, when you retire and all the side effects and everything catches up to you, I hope it was worth it. I hope you made enough money to the point where it was worth it, because the damage you're gonna cause yourself and your body for the future just is not. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think it's criminal, man. To go out there in an already dangerous sport. Some people might be a little bit more timid, but if you're on the juice, it can automatically just boost that extra. I don't know the right terminology for it, but it gives you a little bit more of that fighting spirit in terms of you become a little bit more violent, if that makes sense. More willing to do stuff, take risks, almost like the Vitor Belfort. The Vitor Belfort off the sauce and the Vitor Belfort on the sauce, two completely different animals. I think that's the best way to even compare it in terms of comparison, to let people know like what I'm trying to say. You got the timid Vitor who goes out there. He doesn't have that same pop and doesn't have that same killer instinct compared to the Vitor Belfort when he's on the sauce and he's feeling confident and he knows if he touches you and he just swings, he's going to put you down. It's a completely different animal night and day.
We got another subscriber. Look, you're bringing in the views. Speaking of subscribers, make sure you subscribe to Aljamain Sterling. He's at 1,057. So we got a couple of peeps going over there. Go over to that channel, rate his channel, subscribe to the future bantamweight champion of the world, Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master. That's right. Have you prepared what you're going to do when you have that strap around your waist and you rise back up the rankings? What are you going to do? What's the first thing you're going to buy?
First thing I'm going to buy, I don't know if I'm going to buy anything. I'm going to take my victory lap, travel a little bit, and I'm into wrestling. I like coaching kids. I coach at Baldwin High School. It's a sport that kind of gave me this platform and helped start everything. It was like the catalyst in all my success. So I learned that through wrestling, if you can wrestle through 4 years of high school, 4 years of college, everything in life is easy. There's nothing that's going to be harder than that grind. Every day, waking up for practice, doing 2-a-days, lifting in the morning at 6 a.m., and having to be there in that morning lift 2 times a week, running sprints, hill sprints, and things like that. It's a whole different animal, man. I think that really helped mold my mindset, and that's why when I go out there, I truly do feel like, I have a mantra that I always say to myself. It's I'm too strong, too quick, too tough, and I can't. And that's what I truly believe in. I go out there and I feel those things. I know if he throws a punch, the same thing I feel is the same thing he's gonna feel, and he's gonna need a whole lot of that in order to put me out. So you got to put me out in order to get me out of here, because other than that, there's gonna be no quit. I'm gonna find a way to win, and that's just what it is. It's just that wrestling mentality. You figure it out. You're down 20 seconds. You're down a few points. You got to go big, and you got to if you want to get your hand raised at the end of that match, and that's what it comes down to: being able to take risks, being able to go after it, and just digging deep.
Aljamain Sterling has a big fight. UFC Atlantic City, Saturday, April 21st, 2018. It's coming right around the corner. It's the Barboza versus Lee card. We are going over
weeks.
Oh, man, you got to be pumped up. You got to be fired up to get back into that cage. We're looking forward to seeing that. Now, what I want to do, this is the part of the show where I'm going to take some questions from the chat. So if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat over here. I'm also going to open up the phone lines and see if these knuckleheads have some normal questions for you, Aljamain. Probably no, but we'll try it anyway.
I will say this. I've been doing my vlog series. I do my own editing, that kind of thing. So when you guys do check it out, I do try to put some technique in there, and in case anyone's interested and they want to try some stuff out. Single leg takedowns off the cage, double leg takedowns off the cage, the type of different lifts that I do, that kind of stuff. I don't want to give away all my secrets in one vlog. I try to spread it out, so I spread the love out so that everything doesn't kind of run dry after a while. So I give a little bit away each time. So if you guys want to check that out.
That's right. Funkmaster MMA. Go give him a subscribe over there on YouTube. Are you trying to push it over to YouTube? I mean, I notice a lot of people are doing this. We only did this show for like a year and a half. And Jesus Christ, YouTube is fantastic. It's absolutely fuck the demonetization. You can still make money over here and have fun. And are you looking to take the Sterling Show to YouTube? Is that the move?
That is the ultimate plan. I don't know how the whole money thing works on monetizing. I know they did change that. but that's not really why I've been doing it. I kind of just wanted to build a following and just kind of share what I know and some of the things that I believe in. I just got a lot going on. I think out of all the fighters, in terms of actually having some content that people might be willing to want to watch, I think I have a good amount of that to deliver. So that's pretty much what it is. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, let me know you don't like it. Either way, it's all good. I'm still gonna be doing it because it's what I like doing.
There you go. We got 1,060 subscribers. Make sure you keep going over there. 1,061, 1,100. We're going to have a goddamn party over here. The phone lines are open, 516-522-0267. Call in. Call Aljamain Sterling. This is your chance to talk to a ranked UFC fighter over here. What are you waiting for? Call in right now. And here we go. Okay. What the fuck? You just hung up on me. That was Jose. Hopefully, Jose, call me back. Stop. Don't hang up on Aljamain. How dare you do that?
With you, Jose?
Stupid ass. What do you do with your... oh, here we go. Kenshiro Ryu, welcome to the MMA-Holes. Another New Yorker right over here. You're live with Aljamain Sterling. What's on your mind?
Hey, Aljamain, have you ever thought of doing a Anthony Johnson and move up to 155?
That's a good question.
155.
Whoa, 155. Yeah, that's crazy. It's a couple of weight classes.
Yeah,
because
I do get
whenever I see him like doing the weigh-ins, he looks a little bit too slim for his height. And I think his muscles are screaming for more power. So I think he'll do better at 155 than 135.
Okay, cool. Kenshiro. So he says he thinks that you would be better at 150. I don't know what he's saying. He's saying you'd be better at 155, maybe because you look big for your division. Maybe that's what he's saying over there. I don't know.
Well, I do. My last two fights, I've been over 165. Probably within a week after weighing in. But I don't carry that weight. I don't carry that weight well. Meaning, I get more bloated. I get chickmunk cheeks, and once I start working out, I just start to thin out really quick. So I think it'll be a little tough. I got a small frame. I got long arms, long legs, skinny legs, but I got a small frame, so I can't really hold the weight well.
So you're saying the fight week, you're walking around at 160, 165, somewhere around there?
Yeah, 1 week after.
Holy shit. Oh, 1 week after. Okay. So, all right. So let me get this straight. So when you're cutting, what do you walk around as? You walk around at 165?
Like right now, this morning I was 153.
Okay.
Sunday I was 160. Sunday I was probably a little, honestly, Sunday I was probably like 64 actually, if I'm being completely honest. But that's what I'm saying. Like my body, the weight fluctuates so easily. It's kind of crazy. But I have 2 days of working out, and I'm back down to 53. Tomorrow I'll probably wake up 53, and then just slowly taper down. I try to get down to like 48 on fight week, waking up around that weight, kind of get my body used to moving around and training at that weight for like 2.5 weeks. This way, when I do the weight cut and I put the water and everything back in, I don't feel like a big shock to the body, and I can still be agile, still move, and it's not have so much of a hit.
I'm gonna wrap one on one shoulder, I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
This is T-Man again.
We have a DJ and 3 awesome MMA podcasts. I would say YouTube is officially back to the fun.
There we go. All right.
Days.
Thank you, T-Man, for the donation. Appreciate it. And yeah, that's right. He's a YouTube DJ coming in, and yeah, he loves it. So I got a quick question. With the weight cutting thing, which fight was your worst weight cut?
My worst weight cut in the UFC or just in general?
Well, I guess in general would be a good answer.
Well, this was I think my second title defense. Oh, no, actually, this was my first title defense. Honorio was my second. Casey Johnson. For that fight, that was for Cage Fury. I was 6 pounds overweight the day before. So the day of the weigh-ins, because this is when weigh-ins were at night at like 5 or 6, and I had to lose 6 pounds in the sauna, and I was seeing like black circles around my eyes. Like the closer I got down, I was like 1 pound out, and I was like opening my eyes. It was like, everything was kind of dimming in. It was the scariest thing, but super dehydrated. My eyes were sunk in, cotton mouth, and I was just like, yo, it was to the point where I flexed. And it hurt so bad, like my rib cage and everything. And yeah, man, it was a bad weight cut. That was the most I ever pulled the most water I was able to pull. And you got to realize I'm fighting at 135. So the most weight for me to be pulling 6 pounds the day before is a lot of my body weight. That's a pretty good like body percentage. If I was a heavyweight, it's completely different. But at that weight, I'm already depleted, and then cutting 6 pounds of water. It was pretty scary. I didn't think I was gonna make it. That was the first time I actually thought I wasn't gonna make weight. You know, I always make weight if I, you know, and then that was the one time. It was scary as hell, but I made it, and we won.
What do you think about the extra weight classes that they want to throw in between in the divisions?
I think it would be good for 55 and 70, and even 205 to heavyweight. It's just weird because you have that big gap from 55 to 70, and some guys are in between. It's like I think I'm in between. I could probably be fighting at 140 more comfortably than at 36, and not have to do such a crazy weight cut. But I think things are just, I don't know, it's just tough, man. Where does everybody go?
Yeah.
Everyone's always going to be looking for a competitive edge and like, I could cut down and I could rehydrate and be the bigger man in there. So that's what it comes down to.
There you go. All right, opening the phone lines back up, 516-522-0267. Get in on the lines with the Funk Master. We're going to take a couple of calls, and then we'll let you go. Yeah, I'm fascinated by the whole weight cut thing. I always like to ask everyone, the fighters, about it because it's got to be
yo-yo, man.
It's got to be brutal.
Sucks.
It's got to be brutal. All right, here we go. Okay, Jose, we got you on the line live with Aljamain Sterling. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, what's up, man? Legitimate fucking top 10 in the UFC. That's a fucking real deal killer we got right there. Good shit for getting him on the show. What I wanted to talk about real quick, I just want to shout him out because, you know, he took a fucking tough loss, man. That was a nasty knockout. And people were trolling him, talking about, oh, he did the dab. And I noticed that he responded and was like, you know what? Yeah, I did do the fucking dab. So I want to give him props for being able to take that sort of negative criticism, because that's a big thing, like on YouTube, is that people troll the shit out of you. And he just turned around and was just like, yo, I fucking did. So what? So that's fucking awesome. And then the other thing that I noticed from the interview, he's a very well-spoken guy. He's a very intelligent man. Does he worry now that he took that knockout about the potential long-term damage? And, you know, what's his plan for kind of making money after he gets out of fighting? Is that why he's building his YouTube channel? You know, what's the retirement plan? Because, you know, he's a young man right now, but you can't fight forever. And then especially now that he's kind of experienced what a knockout feels like, what's he going to do when he retires? Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Jose. That was a good question over there. Okay, so what are your response to Jose over there?
What was that?
Being well-spoken after something like that, a knockout like that, and then, I mean, you just, another day at the office, you kind of dabbed afterwards and like, it is what it is. How do you respond? Are you worried about, you know, taking hits like that, fights finishing in that way? Like, are you worried? What are you going to do in the future? What are your plans after something like that?
Well, I'm already setting my plans for the future.
I'm gonna wrap one on one shoulder, I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder.
Hold on.
And you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
We got Vlad here.
I have a buddy in sports named Donald Sterling. Any relation? I believe he also goes by the Funk Master. #wall.
Okay, Donald Sterling. There we go. All right.
No relation. But thank you to that last guy. That was cool. That's cool to hear. You know what, man? It goes back to what I was saying before. People are gonna say what they want to say, and you know, I did do the dab. You know, I looked at it. I was like, people got a point here. It does look like the dab, and it is what it is. There's no denying that. Someone else just got knocked out like that too, man. I felt so bad. I wrote about it on Twitter. I was like, good to see I'm not alone. And I was like, yo, take it. Like, I forgot what I said, but I try to keep his spirits up about it. Like, bro, it can happen to anybody. It's like, even the best of us, man. Sometimes we just make a bad mistake, and instead of zigging, you should have zagged, and you just get caught. And who knows, man? That could actually happen again. What are the odds of that happening again in my next fight? Very slim in terms of me actually making that mistake again, but it can happen again in terms of being knocked out. It's just one of those things. Like you hop in that cage, you sign the dotted line, you know what you sign up for. The possibilities are endless, and this is why this is one of the best sports, because you just never know what's going to happen. Joanna Jacek, Rose Namajunas, Cody and TJ, Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman, Max Serra, GSP. You just never know, and that's why you fight. You could talk about it all day until you guys actually go in there and settle it. who's going to be better on that night. You don't know who's dealing with what in their personal life and all that type of things. It could just be an off night. And sometimes those things happen. And if you make that walk, you better be okay with the consequences.
I bet one of the best people to talk to was Chris Weidman after something like that, because with him with Yoel Romero, I mean, he experienced something very similar. I mean, it was pretty nasty what happened to him over there. What was his advice after you came off of the Moraes fight?
Well, we talked about it at length. Me, him, Vellante, Matt Serra, and even Iaquinta. I think the only person who hasn't ever had to deal with that, jinx knock on wood, is Iaquinta. But it's just one of those things. Al actually thought I was coming back too soon, but the thing about it was he didn't understand what I was trying to do. We were actually roommates, so then when I broke it down to him, he kind of got it. I was like, yeah, I'm training, but I'm not sparring. My first sparring session was actually last week, and I probably took 2 punches in terms of like jabs. So it just goes to show you, like, the way I train and the way I compete, I take very little damage. So that, I guess that knee makes up for all the times I've hit everybody in training and not ever been hit. So I guess that kind of makes up for all that. But yeah, Chris and I spoke about it. Vellante and I, it just came down to, like, are you having symptoms? And I had to be honest. I told him, I was like, I'm being completely honest. Didn't have any headaches, nothing, no side effects, no throwing up, no nausea, no vertigo. And one time I was knocked out before, and I had vertigo pretty bad, and I took, I think, like 3 months off, like no contact, nothing. And the vertigo symptoms were lasting for almost a month, and I was scared, man. I thought I was gonna have that whole TJ Grant thing and Chris Holdsworth, and I thought my career was done. Yeah. And I was like, it just sucks because I never got the chance to make my run for the UFC title and get my actual title shot to see if I could truly win the belt or not. But I got past that. I won my next 2 fights, and then this happened with Marlon, and just came back to that. And Chris and I talked about it, Vellante, and they same thing they said, like, don't spar, train, get in the best shape of your life, and that's how I feel right now. I feel like I'm in the best physical shape of my life, and I feel strong, man. This is the most I've lifted since the beginning of my career, my beginning of my UFC career, and I just couldn't deal with the weight cut because I eat a lot of chocolate. I eat a lot of candy, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I got better with my diet, and now that I got more disciplined with my diet, I'm controlling it better. I'm lifting more. I feel stronger, and I'm training jiu-jitsu. I'm training wrestling. I'm picking guys up through the air. I'm shooting in on those takedowns. If they're defending, they're going Kimura locks. They're getting cross faces. I step in. I use my legs, and I'm sending them flying first class. So I'm excited, man. I feel good. I feel powerful. As Matt Serra would say, TRT Serra, I feel powerful. That's how I feel right now.
We're live with the Funk Master here, Aljamain Sterling, and here's his Instagram. I'm showing FunkMaster_UFC. You look to be in the best shape of your life right now. Now, they're talking about what's life after the UFC. You're 28 years old. Do you feel that this is your last run? Like, where do you feel like in your career? And then what is life after mixed martial arts?
Well, I fought 4 times last year. I'm hoping I could fight that many times this year, as long as I can stay healthy and not get banged up. My timetable is 32, but if the money is really good and the competition makes sense, depending on how my body is feeling 4 years from now, maybe I can stick around a little bit longer and just fight when, the time is right. But I'm working on different avenues, working on my exit strategies, just so when I'm done, I don't fall flat on my face. I mean, I got a college degree. I can always fall back on that. But after the life of being a fighter and seeing the world, I don't know if I can sit in a classroom all day and just teach. It's a great job, don't get me wrong, especially in New York, Long Island. These teachers get paid out the bank. Some of these teachers are clearing $120K plus for being phys ed or whatever they're teaching, so I could have been set pretty well off even right now if I wanted to. But I'm chasing a dream, chasing a passion. I think that's what life's about, living out your dream life. And
I'm gonna wrap one on one shoulder, I'm gonna wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're gonna need a fucking army to come take them belts off me.
All right, Frank Pavon
Has he ever made a fighter shit their pants?
This is a great question. Have you ever made a fighter shit their pants, Aljamain Sterling? I'm sure you got asked this all the time, right?
I made him rip ass if that counts a couple times. I'm telling you, man, that squeeze is no joke.
I tell you what, you know, it's funny. Like every fighter we've had on here, we've always had the shit jokes and stuff like that. But I mean, I guess it's part of the sport. Like, I mean, listen, we're human beings for God's sakes. You're in a cage. You're fighting for your life in there. You know, things happen. Who is the? Be honest with me. No one's watching this. Of course, no one's watching this. But who is the smelliest fighter you have ever fought? I need to know right now in the MMA holes. Who is the smelliest person you've ever fought?
The smelliest person?
You got to call him out right now.
You know what, man? Thank God I've been fortunate to not have to fight any smelly people. I've wrestled smelly people, and you just want to get off the mat where you smell your hand. You're like, oh, I can't believe he grabbed my wrist for that long. And just, you know, but never, you know, and I always go out there before I fight. I always shower. I'm like that. And even after the fight, I shower. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy that just smells like complete crap. And people are like, oh, I want to be uncomfortable. I'm like, no, just freaking gross, man. Take a shower. Take a shower.
Is it a strategy? I mean, would it be a strategy? Some may argue and say, hey, might as well come in there stinking. If I get on top of someone, they'll just pass out from me stinking.
It's so stupid. No, you just smell, and hopefully you get your ass kicked. How about that?
All right, fair enough. All right, we're gonna take one more call. I'm gonna open the phone lines up. I have a million questions for you, but listen, we can't talk to you all night. One more call: 516-522-0267. Aljamain Sterling has a huge fight over here, UFC AC. It's gonna be going down against Brett Johns. This is gonna be fireworks over here. Do you have any predictions for this fight?
Who, me?
Yes.
I don't know how I'm going to win, but I know I'm going to slay a dragon on April 21st.
Why should people tune into this fight, Aljamain versus Brett Johns? Why should people tune in?
I think you got two high-level grapplers. Brett Johns, undefeated, 15-0, thinks it's his time, 3-0 in the UFC. I remember being that young gun once, and I'm ready to put his fire out and show the world that I'm still one of the top fighters in this division, and I'm a threat to that throne. So April 21st, make sure you guys tune in. And plus, it's free, of course, so you better tune in. How
free.
about that?
Free is for me. All right. Last call, 773. You're live with Aljamain Sterling. What's your name and what's your question, my man?
This is Bobby. Hey, Aljo, did you see the Joe Rogan podcast today with Pat Miletich? And I want to know what he thinks of the older fighters who paved the way.
Okay, there you go. Thanks for the call. All right, so first wants to know if you've seen the Pat Miletich on Joe Rogan. Do you watch Joe Rogan?
Not often. I do watch the guys of interest like John Danaher. There was another guy, not Kugler, the guy who ran like the marathon, the Marine guy who failed like a couple times. Crazy inspirational story. I forget his name though. I probably only heard a handful of Joe Rogan's stuff. It's just so long, and I'm like doing 100 things every single day. But I know who Pat Miletich is. I'm gonna have to check that out now. If someone recommends one, I always check it out.
Yeah.
And what I think about the fighters in the past history, man, they paved the way. They are the true pioneers of the sport. They're the reason why the sport is where it is today. And a couple of years from now, my position is going to be, not saying just me, just my position. The guys who came in at this era, it's going to be the guys who paved the way for the newer guys who are coming up. Those new younger guys, those like even that kid from the contender series, Benito Lopez. Those guys who were 20, 21 years old. Those are going to be the guys that we paved the way for, and they're going to have a better platform to fight for where they're making more money and things like that. So, you know, thank God we had those guys so that we could be blessed to do what we do now and actually can make a living doing this and not have to work two jobs. You know, it took me a while to work and fight at the same time. And then when I was able to make enough money, when I went on my 4-0 run, that's when I was able to walk away from my substituting job and just coach, train full time. So thank you guys, you pioneers, Pat Miletich, all you guys, Frank Trigg, everybody, Mark Coleman, and Sakuraba.
Yeah, legends right there. Frank Pavon in the chat has a very, very important question. Wants to know, do you play Fortnite on PS4 or Xbox?
I've been hearing about this Fortnite craze for so long now, so many days now, but I don't own a system anymore because if I did have it, I probably wouldn't train, and that's the honest to God truth why I do not have a system. I was that way. I was bad in college where I had to stop going to my roommate's dorm to play because I would leave my house, drive to his dorm, and sit there and miss. Sometimes I would miss class to play video games. It was the stupidest thing, playing Halo and Call of Duty all day. But yeah, That's why I don't have a video game system. So hopefully, I don't want to deal with that. You know, there's a lot of things I got to get done and I'm working on. So when I'm done and retired, hopefully I can get the newest, latest system and sit in front of the TV if I set myself up the right way. So I can't enjoy those luxuries yet. I think to be able to sit home and play video games is a pretty good luxury where you're pretty good with where you are in life, or you just need to get your life together.
Yeah.
One of the
It's probably the second of the two. I got sucked into the Fortnite. I have a second channel, and I play this game. I play for hours, and it's like I get nothing accomplished. I just sit there and play with 12-year-olds online. It's ridiculous.
And you're like, where does the time go?
Oh, it's so stupid. What is it like having yourself in?
Section of the Alexa app.
That's Alexa talking right now. Alexa, stop. Jesus Christ. I'm having an interview right now. Anyway, what is it like having yourself in a video game? The UFC 3 is out right now, and now you can beat people up as yourself. What is it like to be in a video game?
It's pretty sick. The only thing that sucks about it, if I play with my own character and then I get my ass kicked by these 12-year-olds that you were talking about. These guys are so good at the video game. I'm over here trying to play like it's real life. Like I'm gonna jab and then I'm gonna block and counter and take you down, and then I just get reversed and choked out. So it's not very fun. I'd rather watch those kids play with me and send me video clips on Snapchat, Instagram. Like, let's look at me. Someone actually tweeted to me the other day. They're like, "Oh, this guy's salty and I've just been kicking everyone's ass online." I'm like, yes, like that. It's pretty cool, man. It's surreal. I never ever thought I'd ever see the day that I was in a video game. Even when I got to the UFC, I never thought there was ever going to be a UFC game, and three generations in. So hopefully they keep that going, and you know, God willing, I'm still around when they keep putting out the new one. So,
Khabib or Tony, who do you have in UFC 223?
Now, you Tony fans, don't get mad at me, but Khabib time, and I have a very good argument for this. Tony is very good off of his back, but you have to be in Tony's guard to be caught by Tony's submissions, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to Imanari roll, Baron Bolo roll, or any of that stuff against Khabib. Khabib's going to take him down against the cage, press him against the cage, have his neck cranked against the cage where he's not going to be able to move, and it's just not going to be good. And if he goes for a submission, try and go for an arm bar or a triangle, Khabib's going to rip his arm out and continue to ground and pound, control the waist. Tony's a very good wrestler, but if he submits...
You're going to wrap one on one shoulder, you're going to wrap the other on the other shoulder, and you're going to need a fucking army to come take
another donation coming in here. Hold on a second.
With this newfound celebrity fighting for the UFC, how are you planning to fight off all the Black Mont's kryptonite? White girls.
What the fuck? So they want to know what all this celebrity, how are you going to fight off the black man's kryptonite, white girls? I mean, what the fuck? That's actually a question right there. I don't know how you want to respond to that.
I like...
What a question.
That's how I fight it all.
You don't see that on Ariel Helwani. I'll tell you that right now. You're not going to see that on Ariel. Oh, my God. Anyway, I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyway, I noticed with Khabib. Yeah, well, real quick, Ally Kenta, I noticed on Ariel's show, said they have to pay me a lot of money to fight this man. Like, this is a man in the division. He says, you have to pay me a lot of money to fight Nurmagomedov. I mean, this guy is the real deal, right? What are your thoughts on this guy? I mean...
100%. You got to think about it. Edson Barboza is a world-class striker, world-class Muay Thai fighter. If he's ripping those leg kicks, ripping those body kicks, and Khabib is just checking them, taking them on the form, and those do not feel good. I tell you, I don't know if you ever taken a Muay Thai class and had a guy just through the shields, the Thai pads, when they're ripping those kicks from a good fighter, throwing those kicks through the pads, you're going to feel it. Now, imagine those crushing into your forearms a couple of times, your rib cage. Khabib's walking through it, hands up high, just goes blitzkrieg, throws in a couple of punch combinations, diving in on the legs, your back hits the cage, and then he's dragging you to the mat. That's not a fun 15 minutes, and that cannot be a fun 25 minutes. I don't care who you are. I don't think Barboza could have fought a better fight, in my opinion. Like, if they had a rematch, what does Barboza do differently? You know what I mean? Hope that one of those spinning wheel kicks connect, because I don't know. I think in order to beat a guy like that, you have to catch him clean on the chin, and it has to be a stand-up strike. That's my personal opinion. You're throwing kicks, and you're leaning backwards, and all your weight's on one foot, and your back ends up against the cage. You can't really effectively throw those kicks because there's no room for you to clear your hips and to lean back and get that range. So I just think stylistically, it's gonna take a very good boxer with very good takedown defense that can beat a guy like Khabib. And I think Al's right. Like, if he was in my division, like if he was the champ, I would be not very happy. I would not be very happy. I'll tell you that. And honestly, I think I could be that Khabib type of fighter. I think I shown my ground and pound could be very vicious with those elbows. And when I take guys down, I'm pretty relentless when I'm pursuing that takedown, especially against the cage. I'm excited for April 21st. I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
I'm excited about it. That's right.
I'm excited for April 7th for Ally Quinta, and I'm excited for Khabib time. I think it's going to be a sick fight.
Raging Al's on to what? UFC 223. You're following not too far after with UFC AC. I mean, you guys got to be in each other's corner going crazy, for each other. I mean, it's got to be like this brotherly bond that you guys have over there. What's it like watching your brother in the cage go at it? I mean, you got to be going nuts in the seats.
Yeah. You almost get more nervous for them than you do for yourself, which is kind of crazy. I know a lot of people say that's kind of cliche at this point, but it's 100% the truth, because you're in there and you're in the back row and you're like, you should have did this, you could have did this, oh, that was open, I seen you do this before, you could have caught him with this, and it's a crazy feeling. But I'm confident in my boys and what they do and the work they put in. So it's always exciting to watch them go out there and chase their dreams, chase their goals, and go out there and get their hands raised after putting in 8-10 weeks of hard work in a training camp.
Aljamain Sterling has a huge fight April 21st. Atlantic City versus Brett Johns. Number 8, number 14, number 8. It's going to be going down. Barboza versus Lee. It's going to be this is a stacked card over here. Branch versus Santos. Miller versus Hooker. LaFleur's on the card as well. I mean, this card is just loaded up. Atlantic City. And Edgar versus Swanson. Is this legit? Is this coming on your card now too?
Yeah, it is. But we got a whole lot of Strong Island stud muffins that are going to be raiding Atlantic City. I'm excited for that.
Who's someone else to look out for on this card? I mean, LaFleur, if I'm not mistaken, is from Long Island, correct?
Yep. Yes, he is.
And Miller's from Jersey. I think Corey Anderson's from New York, if I'm not mistaken. There's a bunch of people.
Corey Anderson is from, I forget where he's from. I know he wrestled at University of Whitewater when we were both in D3. And then he ended up on the show, trained with Mark Henry. And I think he just moved out to Jersey to train with those guys full time.
There you go. Corey Anderson's known for his weird nipples. What do you think about Corey Anderson's nipples? Be honest. You know what I'm talking about. What's up with those nipples? They're very weird.
I don't know what's wrong with them.
Yeah. All right. At least you know what I'm talking about here. I mean, I can't stop looking. I don't know what it is. I'm like, there's something going on with his nipples over there. What would you have to say?
If I were fighting him when they were announcing us and we're looking at each other from across the cage, I'd probably just go with both hands.
You'd know Corey. All right. Well, Aljamain, listen.
Throw him off a little bit.
Are you going to do anything at the weigh-ins over here? Do you have anything special planned? Are you going to be talking some smack in Atlantic City?
No, I actually really like Brett Johns. We hung out at the Fighter Summit, and he was telling me his brother's a huge fan of mine. And when I was offered the 2 names of the fight, I hit him up on Instagram, and I asked him, I was like, is this the fight that you guys wanted, kind of thing? Trying to figure out if he's the one that asked for the fight, trying to get a feel. I'm like, because there's a different type of way you take it, a challenge, if someone's kind of like specifically asking for you. And I was like, okay, so if this is the fight that you want, I'm going to make sure you get the fight that you want. So that's kind of the way I look at that kind of thing. And we've been pretty cordial, but I know what it is. At the end of the day, we're all in the same weight class and we're all chasing the same thing. So in order to get to my dreams, I have to crush his, and that's just what it is. It's such a cutthroat sport, and only one guy could go out there and be the winner for the night. Hopefully, the fans get a great fight, and this way we can both somewhat feel like winners. But I gotta get my hand raised by all costs.
Aljamain Sterling's fighting April 21st, UFC AC. It's going down in Jersey. It's gonna be fun stuff. I have one last question, and I want to know what UFC fighter is your least favorite? Who can't you stand? Who is like you cringe? Is it a Colby Covington? Is it a Conor McGregor? Who is the one UFC fighter that you just cannot stand?
I don't have anybody that I can't stand. I think I'm pretty respectful of everybody in terms of that we all do the same thing. I, you know, I don't really have like that high school. Oh, I can't stand this person because their interview and they sounded like this. But I mean, there's some people I could be like, I would never hang out with that guy or girl. Like she's such a, let me not say loser. Well, yeah, pretty much. I could never hang out with that person because they would just be not a good time at all. And there's some guys you'd be like, I would like to have a beer with that guy because they just seem like my type of person, you know. But there's no one I can say like, oh, I just can't stand that so and so. But you know, it is what it is. I feel like all the fighters are weird. To be doing this kind of sport, you have to have something a little bit off upstairs, and yeah.
You know, it seems like you have the right attitude, right? I mean, you seem like a fun-loving guy. You're not looking for any trouble. You're going in there, you're competing, and these are people that are doing the same thing. They're all going for the same thing. So you seem like you have a lot of respect for the sport. What do you think of a Colby Covington?
I don't know what to think about the guy. I if there's anything I would say is I think he's trying a little bit too hard. I think he's trying a little bit too hard to get attention. I think there's other ways he could go about getting attention. I'm not saying not talk crap, but I think some of the stuff he says is a little borderline over the top. And it's one thing if you're going to say what you say and stand by it. It's another thing to say what you say and then kind of hide behind someone else and threaten to call the police and that kind of thing. I think that's a little, I'm like, as a fighter, it just seems kind of weird. Like, you're supposed to be the tough guy. You can't do both. You know what I mean? You can't teeter that line. So I'm gonna be the tough guy. I'm gonna talk my crap and I'm owning and take my butt kicking like a man if someone confronts me, or dish out the butt kicking if you decide to confront me. But you're not gonna, like the whole thing for Verdum. I don't know exactly what happened, the whole boomerang thing, and then him saying I heard he said something for Fabricio first, and Fabricio confronted him. And then he kind of like starting to call I don't know. If that's the case, that's kind of weak if you ask me. And the whole thing with Mike Perry and saying talking about his ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, I don't really see. And mind you, I remember my whole thing with Brian Caraway, but I never once slandered Misha Tate about being how she looked or anything like that, or her appearance or anything. I talked about Brian being second fiddle to her, and only because she fights more, she was more active, and he was okay with being a fighter and her being in the limelight and him not actually trying to chase his own dreams and ambitions. So one thing, you're gonna say, I'm gonna take a break and I'm gonna let my girlfriend pursue her dreams, that kind of thing, that's cool. But that wasn't the case with him, and I called him out for that. I'm like, dude, you need to take a fight. You've been pulling on the fights for the past 4 years. Are you gonna fight? Are you a fighter? Stop taking up space in the rankings, that kind of thing. But to say, oh, your horse-faced ratchet girlfriend was a little,
it's crazy.
It's a little over the top. It was funny. It was mean. But it was over the top. It was over the top. It was like, dude, we're going to start insulting. I don't know, insulting mamas and families. I don't know. The fight's between you and I. And, you know, I don't need to bring everybody else in that. I think that's just what it is.
It's funny you say that, because anytime he tweets, it's like, I hate that I laugh. You know, me personally, I'm not a big fan of him, to be honest, but I like trash talk, but he just does it in a weird way. It seems a little too far, right? It seems too forced.
100%.
You know, but
100%.
How funny though, like when he says these things, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like the ratchet, like girlfriend thing. He's like, what is going through your mind right now? Do you think he has a PR guy that's just like pulling his hair out? Like, dude, are you serious right now?
And the craziest thing is not like he's the most talented guy in that division. It's like, I can understand, like, imagine if Conor was saying stuff like that. It wouldn't have been like the end of the world. Like, people would not be like, oh, you can't talk like that because you suck. But people are saying to him, like, how you talking like that? And your physical abilities, especially what you showed in your last few fights, you don't suck, but people are saying like you suck. I'm not saying he sucked, but people are saying you suck. And then the fight that I watched with Damian Maia was not looking good for him. And he was able to turn it around towards the end of the fight and pick up the decision win. But boy, he got busted up by a guy who's not known for his stand-up whatsoever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's a weird thing, but he's getting his name out there. Kudos to him for that. But I just think there's a better way to do it.
Yeah, you think? I mean, Jesus
Leave
Christ.
the girlfriends out of it, I think.
Yeah, he goes a little bit too far. All right. Aljamain, listen, I mean, I have a million. I could talk to you all fucking night. It must be a New York thing here. And Queens represent to the girlfriend. Queens over here represent Queens in the house. Respect. Long Island respect. I was actually in the building for Chris Weidman's fight with in the Coliseum. God damn, that place was electric. Were you there for that fight? You were there for the
yep, right in the front, cage side. Well, not cage side, but right in the front with Al and the whole Law MMA crew, Serra Longo crew.
I mean, wasn't that electric? I mean, I was trying to tell people, I don't think people understood. It didn't translate on TV like if you were in that building, the Coliseum. There's something about it that it was just completely fireworks.
As the hometown hero, you know, it's just one of those things. You're in the moment. Everyone knows who he is. He's the people's champ. He's Long Island's champ. You know, I think just about everybody in Long Island knows who Chris Weidman is, and it's pretty cool to go out there and fight in your hometown. And everyone you've known from elementary school all the way through college comes down to watch, and then they're rolling deep. And to see you get your hand raised after a three fight losing streak like that, especially being finished, and it's controversial losses, and it's crazy. You know, I can only imagine the weight that was on his shoulders. I know he talks about it, and it's an emotional thing for him. And he's just like, you know, finally able to win and show like what I'm really capable of. And those last ones were all just a bad string of luck. And we were all happy for him, man. I probably screamed so hard. I probably almost popped the probably almost had an aneurysm in my head for as hard as I was screaming, lost my voice. It was a great night. Great night.
Something else. And his pop guy in there was just going ballistic. I mean, what heart his dad has too, huh?
And if his dad was probably 30 years younger, he'd probably be fighting himself.
I bet he looks like the most proud papa ever. It's crazy, man, him jumping around.
Charlie Weidman. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyway, Aljamain, thank you so much for coming on. This chat room has been so civilized, it's ridiculous. I'm keeping a peek in there, and everyone's like, good luck, great interview, blah, blah, blah. You killed it tonight. After the fight, I'd love to have you come back on. Where do you see yourself at the end of the Aljamain Sterling career, at the Funk Masters end? Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself raising the gold in the UFC octagon?
100%. I think I have all the physical tools and the skill set to do that. When I try to stack myself up skill for skill with everybody in the division, I think I match up well with everybody. I really do believe that. My coaches truly believe that. Sometimes I go out there and I'm a little more timid, like early in my career, because, you know, I didn't really trust to stand up as much as I did in training because 16-ounce gloves are safer than 4-ounce gloves. And I wouldn't let them fly like the way I would do in practice and open up as much. But I think at this rate, I've been showing great improvement, great growth, and great comfortability in there. And I think each fight, I'm just going to continue to keep getting better and show different wrinkles of my game. I'm excited for this next one. I've been working on a couple things, and hopefully I get comfortable enough where I'm going to pull the trigger and hit it. And I think if I hit it, it's going to be a spectacular finish. So I'm excited for the future. You know, I just got to keep putting my head down, keep working. My motto: put in work, cash out. It's a lifestyle, man. This is not an easy journey I don't think for anybody. And the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, the highs, the lows. I just can't wait to get back in that win column and then just go from there. You know, one fight at a time. One fight at a time.
One fight at a time, and this fight is April 21st. Aljamain Sterling will be fighting Brett Johns, Atlantic City. That's right. It's going down. Check it out. It is a free card. So, guys, everyone pull up a seat, get some popcorn. Aljamain's going to put some fireworks on. Aljamain, any last words to the MMA-Holes? Any sponsors you'd like to plug? Now is the time to do it.
I want to say shout out to my sponsors, High Performance Nutrition, HPN. If you guys want pre-workout, that's what I use all the time. I believe it or not, is vegan. Everything they have is vegan friendly, so I use it all the time. Discount code Elite Funk, or you guys can try out the CBD oil for all my CBD oil fanatics, THC, all that stuff. They don't sell THC, but they have CBD oil. My discount code for that is Funk. So go to my website, aljamainsterling.com. You can find all the information there, all my latest vlogs, or just go directly to my YouTube channel. And I'll be making hats and T-shirts too. I try to make some stuff that look good. Not like all the crazy graffiti, things that you can actually wear in public and not feel like that guy. So, so if you want some gear, some merchandise, you can hit me up on there. I do all my shipping and handling myself. So you get some gear from Aljamain Sterling with love from the Funk.
That's awesome stuff. Now, Aljamain, before you go, I need you to do me one favor here. I need you to look into that camera and say, I am Aljamain Sterling, and I am an MMA hole. The floor is yours.
Is that really what I'm saying?
I have all my guests say it because we're going to cut it up as something. So you have to do it now. This is your big moment in the stage, in the spotlight. You need to express your love for the MMA holes and say, I'm Aljamain Sterling, and I am an MMA hole. Floor is yours.
The last part just sounds funny. All right, here we go. I'm Aljamain Funkmaster Sterling, and I'm an MMA hole.
There we go. Aljamain Sterling. Good luck, Atlantic City. I can't wait to watch the fight. And when you're done beating some ass, come back on anytime. I appreciate the interview. Thank you, Aljamain, and good luck.
Thanks for having me. One take wonder goes, guys. One take wonder.
All right, Aljamain Sterling. There he is. All right. Aljamain Sterling on the MMA holes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Check it out. It's going down Saturday, April 21st. It is going down. Check it out. The number 8th versus the number 14th fighter. This is going to be a banging fight, man. A bantamweight fight. Big fight for Aljamain. And let me know what you guys think in the chat of Aljamain Sterling, the Funkmaster. I thought he was fantastic. I really thought he was fantastic. Seriously, what a nice guy. The chat room was like, fuck, we can't troll this dude. He's a nice dude. Now, check this out over here. This is his YouTube channel, Funkmaster MMA. 1,065 subscribers. We gave him some new friends. Make sure you go subscribe to his channel. It's going to be some good stuff over there. On his channel, he has behind the scenes, working out, showing you his build up to these fights over there. What a cool dude. And I tell you what, I'm going to be pulling for him. I'm a fan. Are you guys a fan? Let me know in the chat if you guys are fans. 92 likes. Thank you so much for the likes. I do appreciate it. Let's just play the song. 10 more likes. All right, boys and girls, let's go. Let's party. 10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes. Fuck you, dislikes. I've got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes. I hope the dislikes die of AIDS.
There we go. Bruce Buffer dancing for likes. Let me know what you guys think in the chat room. We're going to take a couple of phone calls. I want to run through topics super quick. Make sure you subscribe to Jessie Bell Hill. She's going to be doing our after show discussing what we saw on today's show. And yeah, the Funkmaster. How about that? Huh? How about that? How about them apples? Check it out over here. The Funkmaster will be fighting April 21st. Big card over here. Barboza versus Lee. Fun stuff. Free fight. Why the hell not? And I'll be watching. I'll be doing a Fight Buddies for it. Let's open up the phone lines. 516-522. Whoa, Jesus Christ. All right. And we have Kenshiro Ryu's back on the lines. I bumped you for the other one here, Kenshiro. You got the call. So Ken, what's going on, man?
I feel sorry for Aljamain, because pretty much you cursed him. He's gonna take an L in the next fight.
Oh, you're saying that Aljamain Sterling is going to have the MMA holes curse?
Yes. You fucked him over. He's likable, He did everything he's supposed to do. I'm starting to like him a little bit, but he's cursed. He's gonna take the L.
Yeah, well, I think he's won over a lot of people in the chat. I think people realize it's funny. People were kind of quiet and just kind of watching. The guy was very well spoken. He's an established fighter. He's a number 8th ranked guy at bantamweight. I mean, what do you think? So you're thinking poor Aljamain is never going to win another fight because of the MMA holes curse?
Well, he's definitely going to lose the next one because Rich Johns is a beast. And
he is.
He is cursed. So, coming on this show is not the smartest thing to do when you're fighting a beast that's 15-0.
An undefeated fighter. His last fight was that crazy heel hook. Calf slicer. I'm sorry.
He's doing all kinds of crazy Irish shit down there. So that's not a guy you want to fight after you take a knockout.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That is a tough one over there. But who knows? Who knows? Let me know in the chat if you think the Funkmaster has a shot. Ken, any other thoughts?
Later.
All right. Let me know in the chat. Do you think Aljamain Sterling's going to be able to pull it off against Brett Johns? When I saw this fight was matched up, I was like, God damn it. Brett Johns is a beast. He is a beast at 15-0. This is going to be a tough one for Aljo. But we'll see. We'll see how this works. That's why they fight, right? That's why they fight. We're going to take a couple more calls over here, and then we're going to go straight into topics. We're going to blast through topics real quick. There is one topic I have to talk about. I'll talk about it in a second. 860, you're live with the MMA Holes. What's your name and what's on your mind?
My name is Zach, and that Aljamain Sterling interview was boring.
Oh, no. You fell asleep during Aljamain's interview. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I went to sleep faster than he did against Marlon.
Oh, no. It's terrible. Oh, my God. All right. Anything else on your mind?
Never ever fucking ask a fighter how it feels to get knocked out and ask their fucking girlfriend if she planned their funeral. Because that was so dumb.
Yeah? Well, hey, that's what happens over here on this show. That's how.
Yeah, but he's not going to come back.
Listen.
Don't do that.
Listen, I run my show how I want to. Get out of here. All right. 516-522-0267. Get it on the fucking lines. 99 likes. 99 likes. Get me to 100. Let's go. Take a couple of calls and we're going to go into topics over there. Truthful caller. 475. You are live with the MMA-Holes. What's your name and what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Chris? It's Walmart Nate.
Walmart Nate. What's going on, Walmart Nate? Welcome back to the show. What's up, my man?
Hey, what's up, buddy? What was he saying about him being vegan? Because I'm vegan now. Remember I was telling you?
I do remember, yeah. You were saying, how's that going, by the way, the vegan stuff?
It's awesome. I'm going to post like a video and shit, like my results. I'm ripped and way more strong.
Well, listen, I'm glad you're ripped. Now, are you looking to fight? Now, you were saying the last time.
Yeah, I was in jiu-jitsu class last night, and I was just like fucking it all up. Yeah.
Nice, good stuff. What do you think about Aljamain Sterling?
I was trying to get through on the phone call here to ask him some advice on some like cardio, but awesome character there. I watch him all the time.
Yeah, he seems like a real good guy, and I hope the Funk Master could pull it off. Thank you very much for the call, Walmart Nate.
All right.
There he goes, Walmart Nate with the call. How about that? How about that, Apples? All right, let's see. 516-522-0267. Getting on the lines. One more call. We're going to go into topics. Yeah, I think Aljamain was really cool, man. I think he was really cool. If you guys are just jumping in, we had the Funk Master on. And if you miss it, just run it back. Jose. What's going on? Welcome back to the show. Jose.
God damn, Chris, way to fucking step it up. You had a legitimate top 10 guy. And what a good fucking interview. I'm so proud that no fucking idiot called in and dropped the N-bomb. That was great.
I'm shocked. You know, I always give, before the show starts, I always give them the breakdown. Okay, this may happen, you know, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, he was like, cool, I could take it. And not one N-bomb. I was like, crazy. There was one question about, you know, what was it? The trophy white wife with being a... Anyway. But other than that, you know, we dodged the N-bomb bullet. I don't even know how we did it. It's amazing. It's a miracle.
Yeah, so he's a really good guest, man. Very likable dude. Man, unfortunately, God, I hate to do this after just talking to the guy. He was super fucking cool, but... I think the Pikey, bro, that guy, he's coming off of a fucking fight of the night performance with that fucking submission against Soto, and it's like a crossroads. This fucking dude's 15-0. He's coming off of a fucking fight of the night performance versus Aljamain, who, you know, he was on the hype train himself, just took the worst L of his fucking career. And in nasty fucking fashion, dude. He got fucking brutalized. So, man, Aljamain, I fucking love you, bro. You're a cool dude. Much success. But, man, I'm thinking the Pikey's going to win this one.
It is a tough fight. The one thing I do notice with this fight, and when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, I cringed. I immediately cringed when I saw Brett Johns. But it's one of those weird instances that a number 8 versus a number 14, it's not going to hurt Aljo too much. It wouldn't hurt him too much. God forbid something happened and he wasn't able to pull this one off, because Brett Johns is an up-and-coming fighter. He's 15-0. The UFC is very high on this kid. So it's not an 8 versus 14. Oh, my God, Aljo is going to drop tremendously. But if he does win this fight, this is going to launch him back up. You look at this division, and you see TJ versus Cody up there top, Dominic Cruz, Asuncio, Rivera, Marlon Moraes, Lineker. I mean, this could go any way, you know? This division, and John Dotson's ahead of him. John Dotson, I mean, there are some high points and low points with these guys over here. Aljo can jump up the rankings very quick if he gets a win off of this guy. This is a dangerous fight, but this could launch him. This could launch him up. Undefeated prospect, this could launch him.
Absolutely not, man. His career isn't over. The dude's young as fuck, and he's a good fighter, and he's he's an exciting fighter. So, as far as like still being in the UFC and being relevant and getting a paycheck, fuck yeah, he's still gonna be in there. But man, this fucking Pikey dude, I think he's gonna make a legitimate run. And then the last point that I want to make, I'm starting to get nervous. All the fucking experts across the board are picking Khabib to beat Tony Ferguson. I get this nervous feeling when people are just so absolutely certain that something bad's gonna happen, and I'm thinking maybe you're right. Maybe fucking Tony, with his weird angles and his fucking slicing elbows and his submission game, maybe fucking Tony pulls off the fucking win of his career. I'm sticking with the Russian, but everybody's just on the goddamn Khabib train. Like, if Tony couldn't even possibly win, that makes me real nervous.
Yeah, well, I mean, this fight is fascinating. It is a fascinating fight over here. I mean, I understand why people are picking Khabib. I mean, listen, the guy is undefeated. He's unstoppable. He's a freight train in that division, and if he can make weight, he's going to win, right? But Tony Ferguson, I mean, you watch him training, he's all over the place. Who knows? Who knows what we're going to see in this fight? All I know is I am pumped. I am fucking amped up, Jose.
I'm so fucking pumped. Last thing, everybody just pray that both of these fucking guys don't get hurt and they both make weight, because we have seen an attempt to put on this fight, what, 3 times, 2-3 times? Dear sweet baby Jesus, let this shit manifest and happen. I want to see it.
There you go. I want to see it too. All right, Jose, thank you for the call.
All right.
There we go. Jose calling in. Man, I got fucking my allergies are horrible today. Like, my voice is cutting out on me. I got like phlegm and shit. I'm like, what is going on? I would try to say something and I'm like, what the fuck? The fuck is going on? Anyway, if you missed it, Aljamain Sterling was just on. You could run it back. Fucking like hour and a half. We hung out with Aljamain and he was great. I thought he was absolutely great. Real nice guy. Big fight over here coming up. Brett John. So run that shit back. But it is time of the show for topics. Topics. Everybody sing. Topics. All right. Yes. All right. Topics. All right. All right, we're going to fly through topics because we are short on time. Jessie Bell Hill will be live after us for the after show. The hair is all good, though, Chris. That's true. UFC shit, what's going on? Welcome back. Jose calling in because allergic reaction. Okay. You got the flu. No. All right. This is going to be a lightning round of topics. Report UFC interested in $500 million mega deal with boxing star Anthony Joshua. Is according to Bloody Elbow over here. A $500 million mega deal. You saw that Dana White was all over this boxing thing, and he wanted to make this shit happen. And imagine this. They're going to throw a boatload of money on Anthony Joshua. Are you guys pumped up about this, yes or no? We want to know. We want to know because this is an MMA channel, but Jesus Christ, the UFC is pushing into boxing. Boxing's a big money sport. You know, boxing, I mean, it's been around forever. Huge fan base, and they want to do this. $500 million contract. Jesus Christ. That is absolutely insane. UFC fucking throwing the cash around. Now, you got to think that there are fighters on the UFC roster that'll be like, wait, hold on a second. I'm getting fucking chump change, and you're going to throw a boxer $500 million? You got to be like, what the fuck? What am I doing here? You know, I'm fucking, I could barely pay for my training camp, and you got this shit going on. What is going, I thought this is the mixed martial art. What's going on here? So you got to think people on the roster are like pissed about this, but as a fan, I would like to know what the chat thinks about this. Rubbish Chris equals fake news. So Frank's is fake news. No, it's his code name. AJ has wrestling and jits. He does. Deontay Wilder gonna whoop that ass soon enough, says Mexican Deicide. Coincidentally, Aljamain is African for allergies. Who gives a shit? He can't do anything other than punch. Is he clean? Abba Zabba says the MMA-Holes is one of the topics. Felony. Yes, it is. Actually, Abba, trust me, stick around because that is the last topic of the night. This is speed round, lightning round. Now, listen, for the show, I'm pumped. I want to see this happen because when we do Fight Buddies and there are boxing events, is it mixed martial arts? No. Is it as exciting for me? No. I complain more. But the ratings are through the roof. And why wouldn't I want to see this as a host of a show that likes to get ratings and views? Of course I would like to see something like this. But as a fan, I don't give two fucks about this whole thing. So I would go no with that one over there. Topics? All right, what else we got in the fucking topics? This show is on fire right now. If you're not subscribed, give us a sub. We made a couple of new friends over there. 8,058. Subscribe to the GOAT channel, the MMA-Holes, where we get top-notch celebrity status over here. And if you guys missed this, Aljamain Sterling, check out his Instagram, funkmaster_UFC. I'm going to do it again. Here we go. You guys ready? All right, here's Aljamain. There he is. He's doing some stretching, working out, and he's pulling that rope. And here's Chris Weidman. Yeah. There goes Chris Weidman.
All right, I'm going to your story this.
He's busting a move. This happened today, by the way. There he goes. Weidman's got some moves. Look at these two. Yeah. Are you ready? Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yo, stop failing drug tests. Stop failing drug
Oh,
tests.
yeah.
Not cool. You gotta know what you put in your body.
Yeah.
Because they saw and be a monster.
All right, there you go. If you want to see the Aljamain Sterling interview, you can run it back later. Let's go back into topics. All right, what else we got over here? And boom. Here we go. This fight's happening. Ozdemir versus Shogun. That's right. This is going down. This is interesting. Shogun has been gone for a little bit. He's been MIA. And now we got Ozdemir versus Shogun. I'm down. Shogun Rua versus Volkan Ozdemir set for UFC Fight Night 129 in Chile. How about that? Interesting. When is that fight? Hold on. Let's scroll through over here. Who do you guys have in the chat? Volkan or Shogun? Let me know. It's interesting because of this. When is this? Ozdemir 129 is May. So it's in May. Wow, not too far away. Okay, so who do you guys have? Interesting fight over here. We've seen how Volkan can lose. Okay? We've seen how Volkan can lose. Now we know that this guy is beatable. And if Shogun could weather the storm of that fucking gigantic punch, Shogun has a chance, right? Who do you guys have in this fight? Volkan or Shogun? Let me know right now. Who would you have? I think it's a tough one because now we know how to beat Volkan Ozdemir. And Shogun's a fucking legend, you know? But let me know what you guys have in the chat. Vote as you guys let me know your votes. Volkan versus Shogun. We got 10 more likes. 104, motherfuckers. Keep liking the shit out of this. Share this and lick my balls.
I've got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes. I've got 10 more likes.
Fuck you. Dislikes.
I've got 10 more likes. I've got
10 more likes.
I've got 10 more likes. I hope the dislikes die of AIDS.
There we go. Bruce Buffer dancing as my allergies are kicking in. Volkan for the win. Vigo says, rest in peace, Shogun says Mexican. The Vlad man says, later to G-Man.
Wonderful.
Vlad's talking in the third person. Let's see. JBH stock dropping like baby giraffe. Jesus Christ, it's terrible. Volkan for the win. Volkan. Wow, a lot of Volkans. AJR Parker will have 3 belts. Says Frank Bavon, rest in peace, Shogun. Not one Shogun. Night Shogun. What the fuck did Shogun do wrong? Says Max Boogie. I don't know, but he's got Volkan, so we'll see what happens. Wow, everyone. There is not one person here saying that Shogun has I think he has a chance. I'm not saying he's going to win. I think he has a chance in this fight, and I'm going to study this one, and I'm going to give you my pick. But interesting. Very, very interesting how you guys are all going for Volkan for this. Let Shogun go to Risen Sestelio too. Shogun has been beat up too much. So there you go. All right. Yeah, Vlad, I saw you did there. All right, let's go on to the next topic. We're doing speed round of topics over here. Check this shit out. MMA Mania. Anthony Pettis would have smoked Dustin Poirier at UFC Norfolk. Yeah, but it was late and he was kind of tired. What? It was late and he was kind of tired? Wait, what? I won't stay down forever. Obviously, I'm still pushing. I'm still training. I'm still in the gym. I'm still getting better. And I've just got to show in my fights now. That's a big time. It's something. Okay. Wait, what? What? It was late and he was tired. He was kind of tired. You know what? Fuck this topic. I'm not even. Really? You got fucked up by Poirier. You got fucked up. You got What the fuck? The fuck?
It's time to rant. It's time to rant.
Stop the fucking song. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. There's no fucking way. Look at him. Look at him in this picture over here. Look at him. He got fucked up by Poirier. He was late. It was kind of late. Get out of here. I'm not going to. Fuck no. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are you talking about? All right, let's go to the next topic over here. Sean O'Malley set to have surgery this week, hoping to return in full. Return in full. There he is. Now, I am not on the hype train yet with this O'Malley guy. He could be the real deal. I don't see it yet. I need more. I need more for this. But he's set to have surgery, and he's hoping to return in full. So hopefully that goes quick. Let me know in the chat, do you think O'Malley's the real deal? Yes or no? I don't think so. I go no. That's what I think. That's what I don't know. But anyway, he's having surgery. Hopefully that goes well. He'll return in full. Let's see if this shit show can work out for him. I'm rushing through the topics because we have Jessie Bell Hill who will be live for the after show. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to Jessie Bell Hill and she'll discuss this wonderful, wonderful show over here. What am I doing? All right, go here. Next topic over here. Check this out. Kevin Lee responds to Habib small heart comment. You bitch out of fights. You bitched out of fights. There you go. You bitch out of fights. Okay. It's great. You bitch out of fights. Thank you, Kevin Lee, for responding. You bitch out of fights. Okay. You bitch out. Okay, cool. That's great. Let's look into the chat over here. Jose Rodriguez says, nope, I don't think so. I love the sugar, says Olympia. He fought nobody, says Jared. So he goes with a no. Maybe, says Pulse. Let me give you a dislike as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. Frank Bavant says O'Malley would have lost that fight if the fighter kept it cool. Well, Frank, a lot of people are saying, I wish I would have asked Aljamain. I had so many more questions. I could have kept him on for like 3 hours. I had a million questions. I would have liked to have known if he thought Sugar, Shane O'Malley, with him being taken, why would you take a guy down if he has one leg? Stand up, and fuck him up with one leg. And if he can't continue, the fight's over. You win, That's what a lot of people, Rashad Evans was saying that. And it's a good point. So, I don't know. Kevin Lee, get the fuck out of here. Love O'Malley gets away with being a wigger, says Staley. Okay.
Wonderful.
Maybe a few more fights to determine if he is. I agree with you, Michael. I'm not sold yet. I'm not saying he's not the real deal quite yet, but I'm not saying he's the real deal. I think everyone's jumping on the O'Malley train a little too early. Let's see what we got over here. Chris, get NH on cam. Okay. NH, would you like to come on camera?
Wonderful.
All right, what the fuck's going on here? Speeding through topics over here. Okay. Fabricio Verdun compares Volkov loss to PlayStation game over here. He was saying that in the beginning of the fight, he thinks he won like the first 3 rounds. And I think so too. He was doing good. He was doing all right. He was acting a little weird, but I think he was winning too. And then he got tired. And then he got gassed. And that was a wrap. What did he say over here? I imposed my rhythm for 3 rounds, and I think I won the first 3 rounds. But I needed to breathe more, Verdun told MMA Fighting, like when you're playing on PlayStation and your energy goes down and then goes back up again. I got back up, and my energy was too low to trade punches like that. So there you go. What do they say after this? I'm sure being 40 had something to do with it. Yeah, well, listen, I mean, he is 40 years old, and who knows? He gassed out. He did, and Volkan made him pay. So Volkan gets the win. Big win for Volkan Ozdemir going against a former champ like Fabricio. And, he compares it to a PlayStation game. Interesting analogy. Let's see the next topic over here. Tony Ferguson hits Jim in blindfold dress pants. So here we go. Tony Ferguson has been doing some weird shit with his training. He's been doing some weird stuff. He's been carving up his elbows on metal beams and stuff like that. He's been blindfolded and hitting a speed bag. I don't know. Now, I have to ask the chat, what do you guys think of this whole shit with Tony Ferguson? Okay. I still am picking Ferguson. I picked him from the very beginning. I'm sticking with the pick. I can't flip-flop right yet. I just got to go with my gut. And I'm thinking that Tony Ferguson will win this fight. But it is bizarre, his training routine. He's gone completely off the deep end on this training camp. Do you think that what Tony's doing right now is good or bad? Is this crazy what he's doing over? I mean, this is not too crazy, but he's hitting. Let's go to Ferguson's. This is Aljamain. Let's go to Tony's Ferguson. Let's go to his IG, and here he goes. Check this out. I mean, it's pretty impressive. I'll give him that. Imagine if he hit his hand off the fucking top part. I mean, he's not looking. Imagine he cracked and broke his hand off the top part. Like, I mean, it's not far-fetched, right? Or fucking went a little too far and hit this piece of wood that's over here. Like, just cracked his hand and broke his hand off the piece of the wood. Like, I mean, what is going on? It's like I'm galloping on a horse. All right. The MMA-Holes, he always has had a strange training method, Chris, is Abu Dhabi. Yeah, I've noticed that. It just seems like it's a little more bizarre than usual over here. So, I don't know. I mean, as long as he's healthy, that's all that matters, right? We just want to see him get in there. Could you imagine Khabib makes weight and Tony fucking breaks his hand or some shit like that? I don't know. So, we're playing Final Destination now, Chris, says Steve Sparks. Yes, we are. Okay, let's see what the next topic is over here. Next topic is right here. We spoke about this. This is the UFC Atlantic City card. Too soon? Recently stopped Frankie Edgar shuts down brain critics ahead of UFC Atlantic City return. And that's right. Frankie the Answer Edgar is fighting Cub Swanson at UFC AC, the same card that Aljamain Sterling is on. And it got added to this card over here. And look, there it is. He came back. Now, some people are criticizing this because he caught a massive L against Ortega. Ortega put him away, and it was ugly. Frankie, I mean, it was, oof. Well, I'll show you. Go to this. Go to this. Bang. Right over here. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christ. Look at that face. Like cracked. Right up Main Street over there. And now Frankie Edgar's coming back. A redemption fight. It's against Cub Swanson. He fought him before, and here's a rematch in Atlantic City. Now, I love the fact that they're able to put this together for Atlantic City. Jersey guy, Frankie Edgar. The place is going to be juiced up for it. You know, after a loss like that, it'd be nice to see him bounce back, and it's going to be a war between the two of them. But is it too soon for Frankie Edgar to come back? He's not getting any younger. Too soon? Is it a yes or no? I'm going to say no myself. I'm going to say it's not too soon for Frankie the Answer Edgar to come back. If he is cleared by doctors and he feels good, fuck it, right? It is scary, though. His family can't like it. I don't know. Frankie's retired. He doesn't know yet, says X-Ghost. Maybe the rematch won't be as boring as the first, as Filthy George or Filthy Animal. Frankie was cucked. Good fights is Mexican. Mystic Monster Beard makes me horny. Crazier the better. What the fuck? Really soon after a big KO, says Ann H. The MMA-Holes, I have Frankie for this one. Cub, another contract. Yeah, so Vlad, we thought they were going to let him go, and he's back. Sweaty Wanker, he actually came in for the steroid thing. So now Cub's back. Too soon, says Skip. Trisket says too soon for sure. Staley says, good to see WME look out for fighters. Yeah.
Wonderful,
so it is. It's wonderful, wonderful. Don't pull a Bisping, says Skip. Ooh, good point there. It is very Bisping-esque. It is a Bisping. Wow, Skip, that's a very good point right there. Yes, says Ann H. Jose says yes. Who cares? Let him. If he wants to fight, let him. Brian Roger. Get back to your 0.05 cents an hour above min wage job. Mexicans says X-Ghost. Go Frankie. No, says Frank Pavon. Get more brain damage, Frankie. I love it, says Jay Smooth. Cub Swanson is tired of being strangled, says Filthy. Let Frankie die. Frankie's brain is still scrambled, says Hammer K. Frankie should consider suicide, says Vigo. And dies in the ring, says Frank Pavon.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you guys for donating for interrupting the show. Even though it's massively cringe, I do appreciate the way you guys support the show. And thanks for the new patrons over here. Welcome to the show, patrons. Super chats, some of that fun stuff. You guys keep this show going and flowing. Topics. We're on speed. We're on fucking speed. We're going through topics over here, ending the show. Make sure you subscribe to Jessie Bell Hill. She's doing the after show. And here's the last topic, and this is the one I was teasing at the beginning of the show. We had Felony on the show, right? We had Charles Bennett on the show, who is known as Crazy Horse. Felony Charles Bennett. Where the fuck is he? Where are you, Felony? Where the fuck are you? Jesse, I'm going to run a little bit late. Bear with me. There we go. Felony Charles Bennett was on the show, and it was a fantastic appearance over here by Felony Charles Bennett. Real nice guy, and we're looking to have him on. And now we have a real good excuse to have him on because he is fighting on this card. Finally, an event that blends MMA with porn webcam streams. Okay? The blue corner over here. Yeah, this is really happening, guys, by the way. This is legit. Okay, Rico Suave Rodriguez versus Alex the Spartan Nicholson. You may recognize these guys because these guys are former 6.5 inches. These guys are former UFC fighters. Cam Soda, legends. I made a pitch on Twitter. Make sure you give me a retweet. It's at the MMA-Holes. I'm all over this shit. I am all over this shit like white on rice. At the MMA-Holes. Give me a retweet over there. I put out a tweet, and I said this. Hold on a second. Mystic Moss. I need you guys to retweet the fuck out of this because I want part of this. I'm in. It looks like we need to get Felony back on the show. Cam Soda Live. You need someone to promote this? I know a guy. That's right. I want to fucking promote the shit out of this. But this is going to be ridiculous over here. This event, so basically, let me give you a little explanation here. I don't have to tell you that this is a bad idea, right? Like, that's obviously all on its own. Cool. And still, I do feel it's necessary to acknowledge that maybe this had to happen. Okay, this is Blue Corner over here. In a media event that seems absolutely committed to trying every possible combination in search of something bizarre or compelling enough to make people stop and pay attention for a few minutes, perhaps a webcam/MMA mashup event was inevitable. That's right. Check out this article over here. I'll drop it in the live chat if you want to read the rest of it. I'm not going to fucking just read out the whole fucking article, but I'm going to give you a little cliff notes over there. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Yeah, the Blue Corner over here discusses about this over here. So basically what this is a website. It's kind of like Chatterbait where fucking they have nudie girls over there. And you buy tokens, and you can donate to these people, much like how you guys donate to the MMA-Holes over here. Same thing. These girls disrobe, and you donate to them. Now, apparently, Felony Bennett is on the he's the co-main event, if I'm not mistaken. Charles Bennett is on the co-main event. Where is he? Yeah, here we go. Basically, if you want the fighter formerly known as Crazy Horse to do a spinning back fist into a Aminari roll, all while flashing the double birds, and you want this enough that you're willing to pay for it, you could theoretically make that happen. So you can actually donate and make shit happen in the cage. It's bizarre. It's a crazy thing. It's a circus, and I'm for it. I'm for it. I don't know why. It's just ridiculous. We are called the MMA-Holes, and we're completely cringe over here. And Charles Bennett is going to be fighting on this thing. Felony is going to be fighting on this card. What the fuck? Do you guys want to see Felony back on the show to discuss this? He was supposed to fight in Russia. That got scrapped. And now this shit is happening. That's right. Cam Soda, legends. That's right. Suave versus the Spartan is the main event of that. Fapabate. Unbelievable stuff over here. Let me know what you guys think in the chat room, the FAP room, the MMA-Holes.
FAP.
Let me know what you guys think inside that chat. Do you want to see the MMA-Holes part of that shit? This show inspires tongue-punching fart box by 69.9%, says Dank the Snake. Anytime Fat Frank Mir by Toehold. All right, Fapabate says Gary Banjo Sandwich. I saw this today before the stream started, and actually I think it was Abba who dropped it in the Discord and was saying something about that. Yeah, you guys need to pay attention to this. And as soon as I saw that, I was looking for UFC MMA news, and I found this. I was like, holy fuck, this is what he was talking about over here. So yeah, Felony Charles Bennett will be fighting on this card over here. Cam Soda. Never even heard of Cam Soda. I've heard of Chatterbait. I've heard of other porn sites, but not Cam Soda. It's interesting stuff over there. Don't do it. Sounds dumb. So Brian Reuters says, no! Kenshiro Ryu says, fight buddy Cam Soda. That's possible. So it's a free event, by the way. It's a totally free event that they're going to stream live, and you're going to buy tokens if you want to make things happen. So it's going to be like YouTube, the same thing. I think it's genius. to be honest, because you know people are going to donate and say, yes, I want this to happen. Apparently, after the fight, this is where it gets a little ridiculous. Okay? This is where it gets completely ridiculous because after the fight, the ring girls will go back to their respective rooms and then you can pay them to do sexual things. So, yeah, that's when it gets a little ridiculous. But the MMA part of it, okay, I'm in. I want to see Felony fight again. So, yeah, I'm down with that. I like the circus of it. You know, the porn stuff, I mean, well, whatever. It's each his own, right? Michael Anzalone says, no, it's stupid. So Michael Anzalone says, no. Almond Brothers says, if it's free, I'm on it. So there you go. Tokens, says Jay Smooth. Tokens. There you go. He got slapped like punk. Cam Soda, cut the check, says Justice 4. Cut the check, Cam Soda. Cut the check. Kenshiro says, great idea. Mod Bro, hello, says Justice 4. Sweet, says Olympia Lowlife. It's a joke, says Jay Smooth. It is. So here's the thing, guys. And hear me out. It is the biggest fucking shit show that they can possibly put together, right? An absolute complete mess. And if there's a mess and it involves MMA, we have to be part of something like this. So I'm going to see what I can do about this to get involved in Cam Soda. Anyway, so that's that. All right, guys, I'm going to do this. Before I end this show, I'm going to take one more call, and then I'm going to throw you to Jessie Bell Hill's after show. Make sure, thank you, Shanwood. It is a great show. It's wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hit me with the ones if you had fun tonight. Hit me with the ones in the chat right over there. Thank you guys for liking. If you haven't liked this thing yet, give us a like, give us a share. If you're not subscribed, do it right now. We are cruising to 8,100. We will be doing a meetup, UFC 223, before the event. The weigh-ins, we will be outside, going crazy, going nuts outside of the Barclays Center. And it will be wonderful, wonderful. So you guys, if you want T-shirts, wristbands, all that fun stuff, check us out outside of the Barclays Center for UFC 223. I'm going to take one call. Who will the call be? 516-522-0267. Who will take you to Jessie Bell Hill's after show. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Unknown caller, you're the last caller. What's your name? What's on your mind?
It's Smooth time, bitch. What it do?
Holy smokes. Jay Smooth, what's going on? Hey, and I'm glad you got through. I know, unfortunately, we couldn't get you at Aljo, but I would love to know your thoughts on tonight.
Well, if I would have gotten through, I would have roasted his Salvadorian girlfriend because that's kind of where he fucked up in his career, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying...
I'll put it to you like this. He put together a good win streak before he caught that first L of his career. So he has nothing but good upside. But the problem is, number one, he traded in a black woman for a Salvadorian, and Salvadorians are known murderers. So if he tries to leave her, he's going to die. So he kind of backed himself into a corner there. You know what I mean? And the second thing he has going against him is that he just did an interview here, which means his chances of losing in his next fight go up pretty high.
The curse. Yeah, I didn't tell him about the curse. I didn't want to, bring his spirits down. But yeah, the curse, it does live.
It does, man. But hey, I'm actually rooting for the guy. He's a good motherfucker, even though I roasted the shit out of his girlfriend. And I know you saw that, by the way.
I did see some stuff in the
chat. I know you didn't want to say anything, but you definitely saw that.
I did.
I was very rude.
You know what's funny? I did see some of the comments in the chat. And with that being said, especially the girlfriend stuff, I did see that. But I was surprised. I was very surprised because the chat room was fairly civilized. And I've been noticing this trend with this chat room. Certain guests have a more civilized chat. It's getting bizarre, Jay. Are we losing our edge in this community? What do you think?
I actually agree with that because, when Devin Clark called in, he was called the N-word. When Justice Sumter had his interview, he was called the N-word. But for some reason, Aljamain Sterling gets a pass. I wonder why that is.
Do you think the ranking?
I think that's rather interesting.
It's weird. Maybe we're losing our edge. I mean, I was waiting. I was like, oh, when is it coming? And even fucking Vlad, I'm not Vlad, what's it called? V or Vodka. He didn't even jump in. I was waiting for it and he dodged. I mean, he did go there in a certain way, but not complete. He didn't go full N-word.
I guess maybe he found a soft spot with a lot of people, but yeah, I was kind of anticipating it myself. I'm a little disappointed because it's like you kind of did it with every other black guest, but this guy gets a pass?
Well,
really?
We'll drag him back on, and the first call must drop the N-word just to break, to make up for lost time.
I mean, you might as well. After that, after everybody just kind of dodged it, you might as well just have the first caller just be someone that call me N-word.
Let's just get this out of the way. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. All right, Jay, anything else on your mind?
We don't have UFC for 2 weeks, so I don't know what the fuck we're going to do until then. I guess we have to find something to bypass it. Well, Anthony Joshua does fight on the 31st, but he's probably going to win that shit anyway.
All right. Jay Smooth, thanks for the call. We'll see you in the after show.
All right, thank you. See you there.
Jay Smooth calling in, the sixth man. All right, guys, we're going to wind this shit down. We went a little late because we started a little late, so let's stop this. If you missed Aljamain Sterling, he was on the show. The Funk Master was live with the MMA-Holes. You could run it back. Whoop, what the fuck is going on there? Anyway, yep, the Funk Master was on. You can run it back. If you're watching on the replay, make sure you drop a like or a dislike. It doesn't fucking matter. As long as you're giving us something and pushing us into the algorithm, that's all that matters over here. Thank you so much for the donations, the phone calls, the crazy cringe chat over here. Subscribe to our moderator, Jessie Bell Hill. She'll be doing the after show right now. And Aljamain Sterling is Funk Master MMA. Let's get him to 1,100 so he can just build that channel. We'd like to help other channels out over here. Thank you for Aljamain for coming on. I do appreciate it. After your fight, you better come out back on the show and deal with this disaster over here. Okay, I think we're done. I'll see you on Friday. That's right, Fuko Friday, the second channel. I'll be gaming again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, Fortnite. This has been a lot of fun, man. We've been dragging on people. I want to get Felony on for a Fortnite. We got Justin Sumter, Curtis Stout, friends of the show from the chat. Come on and play. If you're not subscribed to the second channel, I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. Link in the description to that. Kobe's Corner, Jessie Bell Hill, T-Man, everyone. Sega Camp Gamer. Everyone's in the description. If you want to learn more about the show, it's all down below. If you want to become a patron, low down below. Low. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the second channel. And on this channel, I'll see you for Fuko Friday night with Jessie Bell Hill. Thank you guys for watching. And always remember, don't be an a-hole, be an MMA-hole.